Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Trek, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, or Enterprise. Today, I'm looking at Heart of Glory from The Next Generation's first season. Or as I like to call it, that time Worf had some friends over. This episode was requested by Kingman01 and YouTube Other. Thank you both for the suggestion, and let's get going. We begin the episode with a message from Starfleet warning about a battle in the neutral zone, and wants them to go take a look. Oh cool, we're early enough for Tasha Yar. They race off, and Data surmises Romulans could be involved, before they come across a ship adrift, which Riker identifies as Talarians. Worf thinks there may be life signs, so Riker takes Data and Geordi on a field trip, and into the credits we go. Geordi explains that he's hooking up his visor to the bridge so they can take a look before beaming down. Ooh, pretty! But also, how does Geordi not get nauseous? When they finish playing around, the three of them explore the industrial zone of the Crystal Maze, where someone has left the fog machine running, until Geordi finds a weakness in the hull, so they move on, and the bridge loses the feed. With all this gas, Data has to go on alone, until he needs help operating a door, which Riker maneuvers through, and they find Klingons. Hey, it's Vaughn Armstrong, and he introduces himself as Chorus. But no time for pleasantries, they all need to get the hell out of there. Tasha tries and fails to transport them to safety, and the ship blows up. Wow, that was a good episode. Short, unexpected, nah, I'm kidding, she got him. Worf wants to go say hi to his fam, where this one guy is in bad shape, and Chorus explains that they were hitching a ride with the Talarians when some Ferengi attacked them, so they tricked them and blasted them out the sky. But no more questions for now, these people gotta eat. Picard thinks this is all a bunch of bullshit, so wants Riker to ask Starfleet, while Worf takes the two healthy Klingons to some quarters, where they mock him for serving on a human ship. The third Klingon is not faring well, and Picard reports the news to Chorus, who goes to him. Why does this guy remind me of Paul Bearer? Here, let me hold your eyeballs open and scream into the sky. That'll help you get to Sto-vo-kor faster. Worf bugs the others to tell him what actually went down, but instead spills his backstory about how he was the only survivor of a Romulan attack and was raised by a human farmer. The Klingons are outraged that he's not had a warrior upbringing, but Worf says he's still a Klingon at heart. So they admit that they actually nicked the Talarian ship and destroyed the Klingon ship that tried to stop them.
I had no choice. They had been corrupted by the illusion of peace.
They complain that the Starfleet Peace Treaty is destroying their warrior spirit, and after that revelation, Worf for some reason agrees to give them a tour of the ship, while Data detects a ship approaching, but can't identify it yet. Chorus says Enterprise would make a great battleship, before Data explains what the eyeball looking and shouting was all about, and Geordi warns the ship is getting closer, and of course it's the Klingons.
Hello.
They hail the ship, and the captain explains Chorus is a criminal and wants them back, so Picard orders Yar to take a team to go get them, which puts Worf in an awkward position between his crew and his people. A little girl runs up, but Chorus doesn't want to babysit, and the security team takes them away, while Worf explains that Klingons don't take hostages, and they surprisingly go quietly into the brig. Worf isn't happy that the two Klingons will have to be handed over, as they will be executed, but when the captain hails again, Worf asks to speak with him, and asks for leniency rather than execution, but the captain says no. Meanwhile, Chorus and his buddy arm themselves and shoot the guard, and after a brief firefight, Chorus legs it and flees to engineering, where he demands to speak to Worf. He and Picard go to engineering, where he goes to talk to Chorus, but he is pissed that Worf isn't acting like a Klingon.
You look for battles in the wrong place. The true test of a warrior is not without, it is within.
He gives a really passionate speech, but Chorus isn't a fan, and calls him weak.
I don't care what you look like. You are no Klingon!
So Worf shoots him, which results in a pretty sweet stunt fall. The fall nets him an eyeball open and a sky yell, complete with multiple pullouts. So Worf tells the Klingon captain both Klingons died with honor, so he offers him a job in the future. Worf returns to his post with everyone staring at him, and we end the episode with a double jumper pull. Okay, interesting. Chorus is an example of why I'm not a big fan of the Klingons. They can be a bit one-dimensional, but Vaughn Armstrong has always brought the character to life, and his interactions with Worf elevated the standard Klingon behavior. It's early in the Next Generation's run, so the Klingon lore is still a bit ropey. Things they say or do in this episode are later contradicted when the Klingons are more established. But it's not a bad outing, especially for Worf, as we learn more about his backstory. It's a good example of an alien crew member caught between their loyalty to their crew and the connection to their heritage, which we will see many times during the duration of the franchise. But I'm glad we get it with Worf here, not only because Michael Dorn thought Worf was underutilized in the early seasons, but it gives more depth to his character and Klingons in general. So good job! So there you have it. That was Heart of Glory. If there's an episode of Star Trek you'd like me to cover, pop it down in the comments or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want to be assimilated into my channel. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and live long and prosper.